Good evening and welcome to the Rechabite. The Perth International Jazz Festival would like to acknowledge the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. We would like to thank our supporters and partners for making this festival possible, in particular the Australian Government Rise Fund, Lottery West, City of Perth, City of Vincent, City of Busselton and the Rechabite. If you need any assistance, please don't hesitate to speak to the Rechabite staff or the festival volunteers. We ask you put your phones on silent, check out the rest of the program at perthjazzfest.com, kick back and enjoy Our Lady of Jazz celebrating the music and life of Helen Matthews.
Good evening, jazz lovers of Western Australia, one and all. Thank you for joining us on this very, very special occasion. Helen Matthews is a name that is synonymous with Western Australian jazz. And if you're a very young jazz lover, you may not have heard of her before. And that's because she stopped performing some years ago. But you need to know that her contribution to jazz in Western Australia is unparalleled.
Tonight we gather to celebrate her incredible contribution to the jazz art form in this state, and how better than to start with this song. Recorded with supergroup Manteca in the year 1981 and available to watch on YouTube, with many other wonderful clips from the national television series Manteca in Concert. Come I'm gonna be with you.
I'm gonna be
I'm
with
gonna
you.
be. I'm gonna be with you. Come rain or shine. Come rain or shine. Come rain or shine. I'm gonna be with you. Come rain or shine.
Ray Walker on guitar, ladies and gentlemen. Ray Walker on guitar. Thank you so much. Please keep the applause going for, on the piano, Mike Nelson. On the bass, Karl Florisson.
On the basses. That's a different one.
That's right. And on the drums, Garry Gaz Howard. My name is Ali Bodycoat.
And I am Libby Hammer. Thank you. Helen is unable to join us this evening, and so we are videoing the performance so Helen can watch it at a later date. Helen currently lives in Margaret River, surrounded by friends and family. Although she is living with Alzheimer's disease, we are told that she is the life of the party at her care facility, as you can imagine. So please be vocal in your adulation because we want Helen to know how much we love and cherish her still. Woo, we love you, Helen. And you will also have the opportunity to record a short greeting or a memory of Helen's performances on your way out. So as you head out, just look for the cameras. That would be lovely.
Helen was Perth's hardest working jazz singer in the 70s and 80s. She featured in a national television series for ABC TV in 1971 called Helen Matthews, with a little help from her friends.
That's amazing.
Can you believe it? Well, we can. Yes, and Helen also sang with JT and the Jazzmen, a very popular group in the 70s, absolutely. And the Sunday residency she held with her group, A Slight Diversion, at the Highway Hotel in Claremont, remember, was legendary. Huge.
Can I ask, are there people who saw Helen performing in the 1970s or the 1980s? Give us a shout.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Please record a little greeting to Helen on your way out so she can see that. So, Helen, we've got a lot of information to get through tonight. We're going to move it along. She supported international and touring artists when they came to Perth, artists such as Stefan Grappelli, Ronnie Scott, and the Woody Herman Big Band. She's performed with Australian legends such as Don Burrows, Kerry Bedell and Kristen Cornwell, James Morrison, Dale Barlow, Joe Kindamo and Judy Bailey. She performed with many Perth legends too, some of her dearest friends whom she mentored, especially Graham Wood and Carl Mackey, just to name two. Speaking of dearest friends, Helen performed with Ray Walker from the earliest days, and we're so grateful to have Ray here tonight. Ray tells us that this next song was one that he and Helen performed as a duo for many, many years.
We're incredibly blessed as well because Ray has chosen to bring this exceptionally special guitar along this evening. And the last time he used this guitar publicly was with a performance at the Ellington Jazz Club with Helen in 2012. So it is a double honour and a delight to be able to perform this next tune with Ray Walker. There's a saying old, says that love is blind. Still we're often told, seek and ye shall find. So I'm going to my heart he'll carry the key. So won't you tell him please to put on some speed, follow my lead. Oh, how I need someone to watch over me. Someone to watch over me.
Helen's first CD was recorded in 1993. And to mark the somewhat delayed appearance of her first recording, she called it A Long Time Coming. In 1997, she recorded Raising the Standard, and in 2010, A Slight Diversion with Ray. This next song is off Helen's first album, A Long Time Coming, and it was written by Dave Frishberg, a comedy and satire composer who is a favourite of many jazz singers. It's called Can't Take You Nowhere. A one, a two, a 1, 2. You knock back the schnapps, you talk back to cops, you walk in the room and conversation stops. I can't take you nowhere, I can't take you nowhere. You stagger, you sag, you're half in the bag, one glass of beer and you're a total drag. I can't take you nowhere, I can't take you nowhere. I buy 3 or 4, you mooch even more, the check comes around and you are out the door. I can't take you nowhere, I can't take you nowhere. You grouse and you moan, you call Honolulu on my telephone. I can't take you nowhere, I can't take you nowhere. You're loud and you lewd, you tend toward the crude. My friends are disgusted with your attitude. I can't take you nowhere, I can't take you nowhere. I hear people say you won't go away, you drive by for breakfast and you stay all day. I can't take you nowhere, take you nowhere. That's right, I'd like to take you somewhere, but I can't take you nowhere, 'cause I don't know a place where you can show your face in any way. I'd just like to say, so sad to see you must be on your way. I'd like to take you somewhere, but I can't take you nowhere, 'cause I don't know a place you can show your face in any way. I'd just like to say, so sad to see you must be on your way. What a pity to say goodbye. See you later, sayonara, arrivederci, ciao ciao. Yes! Garry Howard on the the drums. Thank you. Now we have a special guest at tonight's concert. This lady has been a professional musician all her working life. She studied classical music here in WA on trumpet and piano, and then relocated to Sydney, where she worked in the music scene for a decade. She has played multiple supports and tours, has played with Wazzo, Perth's big bands, and at jazz and blues festivals throughout Australia. She's taught at WAPA and was a member of the all-star Perth group, the Jazz Divas, and she spent a lot of musical time with Helen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage this evening our special guest, Sue Bluck.
Phoebe at 3 is a find, you'll agree. Chocolate hair in her eyes, surprise. Fingers and toes glowing pink from the cold, running headlong towards the coast. Eyes that are dancing, they're warm and romancing you to look at her run for the sun. Warm, round, robust child running wild, darting here, yeah, there, not again. And when she has grown from the shadow of me, joyful life will I wish for thee. That are dancing, they're warm and romancing you to look at her run for the sun. Warm, round, robust child running wild, darting here, yeah, and there. She has grown from the shadow of me. Joyful life will I wish for thee. It's Phoebe, look at her run down to the sea with her friend Emily. Thank you. That was Phoebe at 3. Phoebe was about 3 when I first met her, so I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my relationship with Helen. So Phoebe was 3, it was 1979, and Helen invited me to sing in her new vocal group, which was going to be touring around with the Appeal-a-thon roadshow. So naturally I said yes. I was very excited. I was a young girl. And Kerry Byron was also in that group. So Helen, Kerry and myself got some ridiculous outfits made. And they were scary. They were like wetsuits, actually. Green as well. Anyway, I haven't got time for all the stories tonight, so I'll move along. But we did some work with that group. We toured around with the Peloton Roadshow band. We opened Her Majesty's Theatre in 1980. We performed in that show. And it was just so exciting to meet this wonderful, warm, beautiful person who is Helen. She's highly intelligent. She was incredibly articulate. She was great fun. We laughed a lot. She loved people. She loved animals. She loved her dogs. The dogs were named after Peggy Lee and Ella Fitzgerald. She loved Fremantle. She just loved living in Fremantle. She loved people, really, and she loved food. So we had lots of great food and lots of laughing and lots of great meals. So it was the start of a close friendship from Helen and myself, personal friendship, and a long-standing professional relationship. So, yeah, I moved to Sydney. When I came back in the early 90s, we hooked up again, and I got to play in her quartet at the time. Of course, all the time, she was always playing with Ray. Ray was her bestie, and so he was always there from the beginning in every duo, trio, quartet, quintet, big band, you name it, that was Ray. But in this particular quartet, Ray must have been doing the other gigs with her, but Garry was in that band, the HMQ, and Marcus Dengate. So that was another era of exciting adventures, wasn't it, Garry? And we actually toured Indonesia with that outfit as well for the Australian government while the Gulf War was on. So that was, yes, exciting. And I must say that Helen's first album that Libby mentioned was brought about by a guy who was playing drums in the band with you guys on Sunday at the Highway, the Slight Diversion Band, yeah. His name was Garry Ridge, and Garry was really instrumental in getting Helen to record. I'll come back to him in a minute because I also need to mention quickly, in the 90s, about 1993, we decided to put together a group of female singers to form our own constitution and generate our own work, dare I say it, to look after ourselves and not get ripped off by agents. So we had a constitution. There were 6 lovely women: Helen, myself, Kerry Byron, Jenny Wren, Annie Neal, and the wonderful late June Smith. So there we were, the 6 strong females. We called ourselves the Jazz Divas. We had the young Graham Wood as our musical director, poor Graham. He was only in his early 20s. He had all these old women fussing over him, playing with his hair, and all sorts of stuff. So it was quite an education for Graham, but apparently he loved it. Anyway, the Jazz Divas, we toured a lot. We went to the Goldfields. Ken was always driving the bus. We went down south, we went up north. We did crab festivals, fig festivals. You name it, we were doing it. We even brought over jazz tap dancers from New York, one called Brenda Buffalino. Never heard of her? Neither had we. But Helen had all these wonderful ideas, so she was the head heifer, we used to call her, yes. So the Jazz Divas were a lot of fun. Anyway, just back to Garry very briefly. I'm going to read out, actually I'll read it now for you, a letter that Gary's written. He now resides in Rio de Janeiro, and Helen and Garry were great mates. So he's kindly contributed to tonight's proceedings. So it's for Helen. H. Do you know, I think I've called you H since I was 23 years of age. And come to think of it, the last time you enunciated my given Christian name was probably somewhere around 1982. It's funny, tempus fugit. Being that brevity is the order of the day, so we can keep the music moving, there are just a couple of things I'd like to contribute. I'm so chuffed that Libby and the team chose to recognise you in this manner. I simply can't think of anyone back there at the ranch who is more deserving of tonight than you. H. Sometimes 1979 seems 100 years ago, and yet there are those times it feels like yesterday. 100 years ago that a big bear of a man confronted me at the Windsor to introduce himself as Helen Matthews' husband and inquire if I'd like to be part of a band that would be musically diverse. Intimidation notwithstanding, Kenny appeared to be such a brute. He was a big, beautiful guy. But I was never going to say no to that invite. Whilst at other times it really does seem like yesterday, just before COVID took its grip here in Brazil, I was in Sao Paulo, in a restaurant where the house band was playing So Many Stars. It was worth a smile, and for a fleeting second there, I was back in Cottesloe. I certainly wasn't thinking of Sao Paulo, Rio, or Sergio Mendes. It was you. These are my memories now, but such memories remain vivid. But Helen, here's the thing. If music was the only subject we could ever talk about, then I'm guessing we would have stopped truly communicating in 1983. But the richness of your friendship and the depth of your abounding intellect remains ingrained on me until today. Sure enough, the music was great, but in truth, these other precious pockets of our lives are what I really, really miss. But hey, it's good to hear Ray's in the band, and please be sure that Brian Bursey and I are already sitting here in the front row in spirit. Te amo muito, I'll be loving you always, Garry from Brazil. So thank you, Garry. I get to see this. So in honour of Garry in Brazil, and also Helen loved a bossa nova. She loved her Latin music, or she loves her Latin music. Brazilian melodies, we're going to do a bossa nova. It's titled, what's it called again? Oh, Rio de Janeiro Blue. One, two, 3, 4. The clouds come a creeping, you got me weeping this morning. I can't believe you're really gonna leave this town. Everyone knows I can't make a move without you. You're turning my whole world upside down. But I get a feeling I've seen the last of you. Rio de Janeiro blue. So sea air, your windblown hair, reflections of a dream. Thoughts of you with who knows who, you're flowing through me like a stream. Brazilian serenaders linger on. Help me lose my soul in this song. But I get a feeling I've seen the last of you. Rio de Janeiro blue. I'm left on my own. Could it be my destiny to live my life alone? Dark and lonely nights, they turn you cold. Only sleepless nights I'm getting old. But I get a feeling Rio de Janeiro, oh, blues. Rio de Janeiro, Rio de Janeiro blues, oh, so blue. Thank you very much. And thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. Again, Sue Bluck. And welcome back, Mike. Helen joined the Perth Jazz Society Committee in 1985 and became the administrator in 1990. And during that time she was involved at the PJS, Helen took on multiple roles, such as treasurer, band booker, president, and newsletter editor. Her editorials in the PJS newsletter were wonderful. She went so far as to title them Ramblings. And of course, they were not just ramblings, they were important, insightful, and intelligent comments on the state of jazz in our country. Helen was also a fierce advocate for funding and support from the government, and she was not afraid to voice her opinions about anything political, especially if it impacted on jazz music and the wider arts scene.
Helen won the PJS Most Outstanding Jazz Contribution made by an individual award in 2002 and was awarded life membership that same year. Harry Gresham, PJS president in later years, said of her, "Helen was very much the focal point of the Jazz Society, being involved from the very early days, helping to build the society into what it is today."
We're actually incredibly lucky this evening because members of Helen's family are here with us this evening. Phoebe, not quite sure where you are, but Phoebe also took the time to gift Helen's microphone, which she called Excalibur, and this is it. Removed from stone just to be with us this evening. It has powers, let me tell you. She still has these powers. They're all around us. Helen was a prolific teacher. We truly believe that she was and is the originator of the original mic drop. And the only other person that can attest to that, I think, is probably John Farnham, and certainly not Barack Obama, although he was very good at it. She was prolifically generous in her teaching. She had many students, of which we were both, and I used to catch the bus down to Fremantle and have lessons with Helen every Tuesday afternoon. She would create performances and concerts so that we actually learnt how to perform in front of our peers. And some of the tunes that she dished in our general direction were some of the most difficult pieces. Luck Be a Lady Tonight, Promises, Promises. Her repertoire was broad and wide. She was so well listened. But within that generosity, she stated to me after 2 years, "Ali, I can't teach you anything more. I've taught you for 2 years. You now need to leave and have lessons with somebody else." Of course, I did that. But her generosity to release and let you go and learn more. And what she taught us, we have carried with us through the jazz community in Western Australia. That generosity of sharing knowledge, not holding on to it. Music, life, and her heart. This will be my shining hour, calm and happy and bright. And in my dreams, your face will flower through the darkness of the night.
Shining hour.
face will flower through the darkness of the night, like the lights of home before me, or an angel watching over me. This will be my shining hour till I'm with you again. Your face will flower through the darkness of the night, like the lights of home before me, or an angel watching over me. This will be my shining hour till I'm with you again. This will be my shining hour till I'm with you, till I'm with you, till I'm with you again. Mike Nelson.
Great hairstyle. Sometimes people jump out from the audience. You look out and, you're all jumping out. That was a hairstyle that jumped out. My personal memories of Helen are including sitting in at her gigs. If she saw a young singer in the audience, she would not fail to invite them up to sing. She was always looking for ways to bring jazz musicians together and to provide supportive opportunities for them. Many of my early gigs were a result of Helen telling me where to be and when and what I would be singing. She was a real entrepreneur like that. Okay, so one of my favourite descriptions of her was by Ron Morey, who wrote CD reviews for the PJS newsletter for many years. He called her the Earth Mother of Perth chanteuses. And I think that's an apt description. And I got to say that one thing that struck me while putting together this tribute was that I've underestimated how much Helen influenced me as an artist. While I was sorting through her charts, kindly gifted to me by her daughter Phoebe, as I saw the song title on the chart and put it on a pile, and then later on I'd realised that, that song would start running through my head simply because I ran the title, and I realised it was always Helen's voice singing it. I got her voice in my head and have had for many years without really realising it. This one's called Don't Blame Me. Ever since the lucky night I found you, I've hung around you just like a fool, falling head and heels in love, like a kid out of school. My poor heart is in an awful state now, but it's too late now to call a halt. So if I become a nuisance, it's all your fault. Don't blame me for falling in love with you. I'm under your spell, but how can I help it? Don't blame me. can you do the things that you do? If I can't conceal the thrill that I'm feeling, don't blame me. I can't help it if that doggone moon up above makes me need someone like you to love. Blame your kiss, as sweet as a kiss could be, and blame all your charms that melt in my arms, but don't blame me. Don't blame me.
Thank you. I love that Helen's codas, the ends of her songs, were often longer than the song itself. If you remember seeing her gigs. Helen wrote the lyrics to this next song and Paul Millard wrote the music. It's about her family's little boat, Delphus.
Little Delphus, floating on the water while your namesake is gliding below you, cruising the ocean, listening to the quiet of the waters caressing your soft lines. Oh, the joy of the voyage to the island. The flying fish are greeting us as we step on to shore. Gulls are soaring and the seals play their games, their vocal refrain. So come, join the crew now. Don't ask why or who now. We'll just float seaward bound. Little Delphus is greeting the solar soldier Tinker Tailor. It's a voyage filled with salt air, and moonlight and no care. No bad things will be there together. So
Wow, Libby Hammer. Huh? What a beautiful song. Helen's unstoppable desire to create and to bring musicians together resulted in what we'll call the projects. She was a creator of shows, an artistic director, a producer. The shows she developed are too numerous to mention, but they appeared at the Perth Jazz Society, the Quarry Amphitheatre, Pika, the Regal Theatre, the York Jazz Festival, the legendary Effie Crump Theatre, and toured regional Western Australia. Her creations brought together artists of all genres, including dancers, poets, and actors, and broke down barriers between art forms, placing Perth, Western Australia, as an international performance playground. She gained funding and commissioned large-scale jazz works, again, too numerous to mention, the benefits of which still reverberate through the entire Australian community. This next song is from Helen's creation, with her dear friend Laura Black and musical director Graham Wood on the piano. And it was a creation that she revisited a few times and then very, very kindly invited me to perform with Laura and Graham. It was called the Dorothy Parker Pen. And Dorothy Parker was a writer whose wit resonated deeply with Helen. 3, 4, 1. Drinking again. Thinking of when you loved me. I'm having a few. Just wishing that you were here. I'm doing the rounds and buying rounds for total strangers. Yeah, I'm being a fool, just wishing that you would appear. Sure, I can borrow a smoke. Maybe tell some joker a joke. But who's gonna laugh? Who's gonna laugh at a broken heart? My heart is aching, I swear it's breaking. That's why I'm drinking again. And thinking of when you left me. I'm trying to make it on home with nothing but a memory. borrow a smoke. Or maybe tell some joker a joke. But who's gonna laugh? Who's gonna laugh at a broken heart? Hey you, welcome back. I'd like to acknowledge the jazz divas in the audience. Hello, it's lovely to see you down there. There she is. Oh, because I was going, okay. As Helen used to say, that sometimes it was mispronounced, the jazz divers. And then just quietly she said to me, we call them the jazz beavers. Anyway, jazz divas, a round of applause.
Yeah.
Please. And of course the late June Smith, who is no longer with us. Just wanted to say
legendary.
Hello. Okay, we've got a lot to get through. We've got like 4 minutes, people, okay. In February 2002, under Helen's artistic direction, we've just gotten up to the festivals, this is crazy. The inaugural Fremantle International Jazz Festival took place. Later that year, Helen resigned from the PJS to take a full-time position with the Perth International Arts Festival as jazz program producer. The second Fremantle International Jazz Festival followed in 2003, and though there was no third festival, there was still a component of jazz in the 2004 PIAF, and Helen held the role of jazz program producer until 2006. Let us not forget that Helen also put together 2 Bunbury International Jazz Festivals in 2007 and 2008. And presented a regular local jazz program on RTR for many years.
Just in the spare time. And there were so many great quotes to choose from, as you can well imagine, when deciding how best to describe Helen's epic achievements in her jazz festivals. And we think Kurt Elling said it best down in Fremantle at the Fremantle Arts Centre. And I quote, with the stars above us, I think it is entirely possible that Helen Matthews ordered that moon for us. Kurt Elling.
In 2015, Helen was officially inducted into Wham's Hall of Fame. At this point, with a career spanning over half a century, Helen Matthews had undoubtedly become WA's First Lady of Jazz. Melbourne Women's International Jazz Festival summed it up perfectly when they declared, she is one of the finest jazz vocalists this country has produced.
And when she left, that's right. Absolutely. When Helen left the Perth Jazz Society in 2002, she wrote the following in their newsletter. Throughout my years of service to the Perth Jazz Society, I have experienced and hopefully, in some small way, created positive changes. Like jazz itself, the PJS is constantly evolving, not just following trends, but developing them and implementing them. Initiatives that particularly relate to the needs of Perth, the most isolated city in the world. Jazz musicians need to play. They need to hear their peers. They need to compose
and they need their own place. Likewise, jazz lovers also need a home. To the Perth Jazz Society members whose loyalty and patronage has been an inspiration, the musicians I have worked with and worked for, and to jazz, long may it flourish.
Helen's words. Now, this is our last song. Ray tells us that Helen would always finish her gigs with this song. And if you ever saw her perform, you would also remember that she would always say at the end of the show, "If you liked this concert, my name is Helen Matthews, and if you didn't, my name is Wendy." You can dance if you like.
I don't remember what day it was. I didn't notice what time it was. All I know is that I fell in love with you. And if all my dreams come true, I'd be spending time with you. Every day's a new day in love with you. With each day comes a new way of loving you. Every time I kiss your lips, my mind starts to wander. And if all my dreams come true, I'll be spending time with you. I love you more today than yesterday, but not as much as tomorrow. Oh, I love you more today than yesterday, but darling, not as much as tomorrow. Tomorrow's date means springtime's just a day away.
Just a day away.
Yeah, but we don't need your love, be on your way.
Your way.
Thank the Lord I love ourselves and grows ever stronger. I always will be true, 'cause I know you feel the same way too. Oh, I love you more today than yesterday, but not as much as tomorrow. Oh, I love you more today than yesterday, but darling, not as much as tomorrow. Yeah, babe, I really love you.
On the basses, Karl Florisson. On the drums, Garry Howard. On the guitar, Ray Walker. special guest this evening was Sue Bluck. Where's Sue? Thank you, Sue.
Ladies and gentlemen, Libby
Bodycoat, there she is. Now don't forget on your way out to record a little greeting to Helen or to share a memory or something like that. We'll see you out there in the foyer. And we want to thank
the world. First and foremost, we would like to thank the Perth International Jazz Festival, Miss Francis, Ma Knox, the whole team, the volunteers. We'd love to thank Jeremy, Rebecca, the team here this evening for being so delightful. The magic of this space, the Rechabite, and all of the sponsors and supporters. Most importantly, you, the proud listeners and supporters of live music in Western Australia, the people of Perth, thank you so much. And the entire reason that we are here this evening is to honour the living legend and the glory of our dearly, dearly loved Helen Matthews.
We love you, Helen.
Have a great festival, everyone.
Helen, Glynis Trailnash, another one of your students, sending all my love.
Hi Helen, it's Leith Taylor. Wouldn't have missed it for the world's fantastic tribute and so well deserved. It's our mutual friend Dennis Follington's birthday today. He wanted to be here so much, but I'm here in his stead and I'll let him know all about it. Sending much love. Bye.
Thank you, Helen. Amazing.
Thanks.
We love you.
Our favourite concert was in Byford, the Jazz Divas. It was the most magical evening, and of all the jazz I've seen, that was my very favourite. Twice we went and had such pleasure.
Really enjoyed listening to her when she was on the radio on Saturday and Sunday jazz. Brilliant.
Hi Helen, we miss you. You did a fantastic job. Bye.
Helen, from the time we first met with Chris.
Hello.
When we used to go to the Highway Hotel every Sunday afternoon.
We did.
And
Sunday session.
Before we were married and when we were courting. And you said, what's a nice girl like Chris doing with a guy like me? And here we are 34 years later. So lots of love, darling.
Love you, Helen. Love you. Love all your work. It's been a fantastic night remembering all your wonderful, wonderful music.
Great concert. Love you lots.
Love you. Bye.
This is Jill, and thinking of all the times we had together in the past, and absolutely wonderful music. And you brought that to us. So thank you so much.
Alan, it's Garry Howard. I just want to let you know that the girls did a fantastic job for you tonight, as did our band. Smash. And just got to tell you that I miss you very much and love you. And thank you for all your years with me, and it's been fantastic. I hope you're comfortable and you're resting well in Margaret River. And I just love you very much. Take care, darling. Bye-bye.
Hi, Helen.
Hello, Helen.
We miss you. We love you. Alex Bodycoat, you would remember. Stop swinging your head from side to side and nod forward and back. Libby Hammer,
just your greatest fan and probably worst student ever.
But she sang amazingly tonight.
You've influenced me more than you will ever know. So thank you for that. Wow, we love you and we miss you.
Love you so much, Helen.
There are some other people to talk to you as well.
Oh my gosh.
Love you, Helen.
Teresa.
Bye, Alan.
Ray. We've just seen the most wonderful tribute. A truly beautiful tribute to you. And very sincere, very sincere, and I can't think of anything else to add to that.
just like.
Can I just he's butting in again?
Happy and wife.
Can I just say that I just want to say that thank you for the music in the 70s and 80s that we shared, the fun, the craziness. It was, you kind of brought me into another world that I hadn't seen before or experienced, so thank you for that. And on a personal note, I want to say, the stuff we shared, your human spirit and everything you gave stays with me now. I love you and thank you for your friendship and your love, and you're a star.
What she said, Helen.
Helen, what can I say? Thank you. You influenced me and helped me, and your creative energy in creating all the projects and funding that you got. And in a way, you're sort of responsible for me going to LA and making an album because you brought the Pisanos over here. I want to thank you for 50 years of all the gigs that we did. I can't remember a bad gig that we ever did. So just thank you. We love you and stay well.
Love you. Love you.